You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. Upon entering the Trollforge, the party was set upon by a pair of ice shamblers, frozen remains of unlucky adventurers gone before. With the new aid of Val and her divine protection, the creatures were felled and lay in peace at last.
So this last Friday, I had a fun day of hunting down books and buying books at Barnes and Noble and
What kind of
the
books?
comic book store. It was all comics for me. My
Okay,
wife found
comic
like
books.
journals and stuff, but I found something that one, I didn't know existed in this form. Two, I've been looking to get for a long time, but haven't found it when I look for it. Is the Marvel comic series Oz by Eric Shanower and Scotty Young.
Is it like a retelling of The Wizard of Oz?
The first little miniseries is The Wizard of Oz. The rest of it is all adaptations of the books, of like several books of the Oz series of novels.
Yeah.
So they're little adaptations.
Are they graphic novels of it?
They are comic books with like.
Yeah, but like, do they tell the same story or?
For the most part, yes.
That's so cool.
They're these wonderful little things. Now, I'm not super familiar with The Wizard of Oz. I've seen that old movie. Is that it? That might be all I've experienced with The Wizard of Oz.
So
I saw that horrible movie with James Franco.
I was about to say there's multiple renditions, but there's a very old movie that was like revolutionary because of the color swapping halfway through the film. And then there was another one with like horrible wheeled monsters.
What about the stage play, the musical?
I've never seen it, but anyway.
Yeah.
I spent yesterday reading. I read through The Wizard of Oz, which is about a tenth of the 900 pages of the book, and that just goes through the Wizard of Oz story. But I don't know if it's quite the same way in the original novels, but I'm finding these characters are very fleshed out while also being very simple, very fairy tale-y, and like I'm loving it. I am getting invested in these guys. The Scarecrow is my favorite. I love that guy.
I didn't know there was more than one Wizard of Oz book for the longest time.
I think the original author did 8, and then there's a total of 40.
Like, the original story of Wizard of Oz is so different from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually, I listened to it as an audiobook growing up.
Yeah?
And I like it. Like, the characters are better.
Yeah, there's more to it. They show up.
But the Cowardly Lion was still a lion.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He's cowardly because he scares everything because he's scared of them and has no chance to be courageous.
But in the end, he is courageous. Like, even before he gets to the castle.
The wizard gives him liquid courage. That's what he calls it. And I love it.
This is an offshoot, and I apologize. Well, first, I want to compliment the art that you showed. That was beautiful.
I love Scotty Young. He's always been a favorite of mine.
The other thing is, this is when playing Remnant 2.
Wow. Okay. That
is
is a tangent.
I'll draw it back to Liquid Courage. There's an item there called Liquid Courage, and it's basically I don't think it's called Liquid Courage. It's something Courage.
114 horsepower.
It's a needle that you stab you, and it's a drug in the game.
So it's
anyway,
like Bioshock.
but it gives you bonus effects. But in the flavor text, it says it makes a joke that it's just alcohol. You're injecting directly.
So
into
one
your
of my
body.
favorite renditions of The Wizard of Oz is just Wicked. And I've never read the book, but I love the Broadway show.
Wait, is there a book of that?
Yeah, it's based off of a book.
I have listened to the soundtrack several times in my oldest brother's car.
Chills.
Because he plays it all the time when I'm taking trips. I've never seen the play. I have only listened to the music numbers.
I saw it,
which are great.
Back in high school, our a cappella. Well, actually, I think the entire choir group went to see it at the Muni. No, not the Muni. The Fox in St. Louis.
Ooh.
Which I think they're both in St. Louis. But it was really cool. Super cool effects. Super cool, like the design of everything, and I mean, I'm sure it's the same everywhere, but
Was it the Broadway group, like the actors, or was it just like a local, like a students and stuff to that area?
it was not local. But I don't think it was Broadway either.
It wasn't the original cast.
I don't think so.
Okay.
If the original cast went to a very small, was it a small town?
St. Louis?
St. Louis?
Oh, I didn't know where that is.
I
don't,
said the
I know where
Fox in
St.
St.
Louis,
Louis.
is, but I didn't hear the St. Louis part. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I found this. It's a little beaten because it's a used book, but it's really. I couldn't find it for the longest time. I didn't know they had an omnibus format of it, so it's all just collected in one. The last several times I've gone to this comic book store of mine in the last couple of months, I have been finding so many whales, which things that I can't find, like my white whales, books I want to get,
okay.
Yeah,
but
you
I can't.
definitely
But
did expand on that.
Was I the only one that got that
Orca.
reference?
Well, my brain immediately
Orca's a
went
dolphin.
to the video game
Listen,
term
no.
of whales, which is somebody who spends a lot of money.
No, not like that.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, I found a lot of things I've been looking for. They've just been buying from people around town as used items. So I've had a great time lately.
That's great.
And
Hey,
Oz
man,
is
you got those
amazing. I recommend
whales.
it if you have any chance to read it. I'm not interested in the Wizard of Oz until I read this book. I love it.
So we'll get you an AMA on Reddit, and we'll say, AMA, I'm Sam. I am on a podcast all about Pathfinder, but ask me about comic books instead.
Ask me about the Wizard of Oz specifically.
Tell me your interests, and I will give you a suggestion.
Speaking of finding what we're looking for, let's jump back in.
Is it me you're looking for?
I am looking for death and destruction.
Well, we just
All right,
killed two
Sophia.
owls.
Ice people.
Go loot the bodies. I'm going to go take a look at the pouches that are perfectly
Yeah.
preserved.
What's
Ah,
them
yes.
pouches? I was curious about that, but we didn't get to it.
I'm going to loot the bodies. Are they
Please,
cold to the
please, can we
touch?
just let Jody reset the seed?
I think you guys are already in the scene. The audience knows what's going on. They heard the previously on. You guys are in it.
The audience has been listening since episode 1. They know exactly what's
Okay.
going on.
Zephyr, as you loot the bodies, you find some scraps of cloth that haven't quite deteriorated.
I'm going to take them, and I'm going to keep them for our new friend.
Hey, you were yelling at us that we
Pilgrim.
didn't loot the bodies before.
I'm like, these guys have stuff, and you've seen them use it in combat. You should loot bodies. Zombies, I bet they've got loot.
Zombies who only use their
I
breath.
was totally kidding.
Val is going to shatter the 2 ice schools,
After I take their tattered cloth.
and then she looks to Zephyr, who's still over here. Would you like some healing? Are you doing all right?
I could take some, just a little.
All right. She reaches out, her hand touches you, and there's more of those swirls, the comet swirl of crackles, and they kind of lay against your arm, and you heal 18 hit points.
Ooh.
Actually, that puts me back to full health.
You ran away.
And now, Uver, I'll get to you here in about 10 minutes. I need to pray.
I'm also going to take some time to refocus.
I'm so confused.
The invasive thought one.
So I gesture a lot when I'm talking. Abby just went and gave me a high five.
Is that not why you gesture?
You were holding out your hand.
I don't understand
What is
anything.
what does Uver find in them pouches?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Uver, you're looking through the pouches. I thought Alward, you said you were going to go with him.
No, I need to refocus, and I figured since he's going to pray, I'm going to do the same.
You're going to pray?
No, not pray, but refocus.
What? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm standing in the corner.
Crying. Free action.
I can teach you some Pharasmid prayers.
Maybe another time.
Okay.
All right, so Uver, as you go through the pouches, you find some assorted travel gear, such as what is that called?
A whip?
Grappling hook.
Grappling
That's
hook.
what it's called. A few pitons, a length of rope. You also find 88 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Are you going to share with the class?
We'll see.
You better share with the class.
2 potion bottles.
Oh.
Ooh.
Are they just bottles?
They'll need identified.
I can do
I'll identify them after you're done.
And a 4-foot long staff of yew wood with coiling like scroll work going all the way around, made out of parchment.
That's definitely something.
Is it a scroll staff?
I'm going to have to identify a few things here.
I can help.
So somebody do the math to split up the 88 gold.
I got it.
Thank
Okay.
you. Much as I would love to keep it all to myself, Uver wouldn't.
Don't be a jerk. 17. One of us gets 18.
Uver can have the 18.
It's only fair he found it.
I can now afford my mom's medicine.
Good for you, buddy. You gotta pay him back first.
Shut up! I can now afford my mom's medicine.
I like to think I'm handing out the portions, and Zephyr just like, thank you, whenever I'm handing it out to you, outward.
So, I think I may have mentioned this before, but I'm going to bring it up again because I like it, is equipment and loot and stuff that you find in dungeons will need to be identified before it can be used. But you can essentially say, I know my stuff in long rests during daily preparations, and unless I have something specific about an item, we can just hand wave and say it's been identified.
Okay, so right now, if we wanted to use it, since we're not taking a long rest as far as we know.
Right. So if you've already long rested, you can assume that you have that you can just identify the stuff you have. I might say for this one you need to roll, but usually you can just identify for free during a long rest.
So, as an expert in Arcana, I'm gonna try identifying the staff first.
All right. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
You sweet Jiminy Christmas.
Good or bad?
Not one.
As an I feel you, Sven.
That sucks
That
for 14.
hurts.
It appears to be a walking stick that someone has pinned sticky notes to.
I was gonna say like a troll's toothpick.
That's a low blow.
That is hurtful on multiple levels. How about the potions?
Yeah, go ahead and let's see, crafting or Arcana.
Arcana,
either of them.
because crafting is not my strong suit. Well, I thought Arcana was too. 24.
That's better.
Gotcha.
I have a plus 13 in Arcana.
So the first one,
I feel you with society.
is an invisibility potion.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's fun.
Nice.
You can continue.
So it'll just take one action to just chug the potion, assuming you have it in your hand, and you will be affected by a second level invisibility spell.
And the other?
The other one will be another check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 27. Oh, sorry. 29.
Ooh, a critical success. You really know what this is.
I really know what this is. It's not really what I want to know.
This one is actually an alchemical concoction that is a mist form elixir.
Ooh.
When you drink that one, you become concealed for 3 rounds. As it, you just kind of emanate a mist from your skin. So it's obvious where you are, so you can't use it to hide or sneak, but it makes it hard to figure out, exactly your position in that space. So, it would make them have, flat checks to try to target you.
You said mist form?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yay. Okay. I know what these things do. They're fairly simple, but I can't quite get a grasp on the staff.
I enter the room. I point at it and I'd like to try to identify it.
All right, make an Arcana check.
24.
Nice.
With that, Zephyr, you do recognize this from your studies. It's known as a librarian staff.
That is so not on character for me.
That's awesome.
I try to avoid those things at all costs.
What do they do?
It's a librarian staff.
They make
So-
you quiet.
Make you very, very quiet.
A librarian staff has 2 functions. First off, it functions like a normal staff. So it has a list of spells that are stored as part of the staff. And when you attune to the staff in your daily preparations, it gets a number of charges equal to the highest level of spell slots you have. So at this point, you would get 3 charges. And then you can cast spells out of the staff, not necessarily using your prepared spells for the day, based off of the spell list that the staff has access to. You can also burn a spell slot during your daily preparations to add bonus charges to the staff.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, so it adds charges equal to the spell level. So if you burn a 3rd level spell slot, then you have now 6 charges in your staff because you get 3 for free and you add 3 extra.
That's good to know.
So this librarian staff, the spell list it has on there is cantrips, approximate, and read aura. So those, of course, don't take any charges to cast. It has 1st level spells, pocket library, quick sort, and share lore.
Every time I make a caster, I always want those spells, but they're never useful enough. So that's perfect.
And it also has 2nd level spells, comprehend language, and timely tutor.
That's so good.
So that's its primary function. It has a secondary special ability that's non-standard for staffs. All staffs have like a list of spells on them like that. The non-standard ability is as a 3-action activity, you can store or retrieve up to 1 bulk of texts in an extra dimensional space attached to the staff.
So what happens if the staff gets destroyed?
It doesn't say.
I think the items would just come out of the
they
extra
come out of
dimensional
They usually
space.
get shunted on a destruction. Or perhaps you must eat them.
It's the only logical course of action. So Zephyr, you know all of this about the librarian staff.
Do I relay it?
That's the question.
I do tell you that. All of it.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yes,
I can.
stay away from it. It's evil.
It is. Thank you.
Books are some of the worst things.
Uver kind of just like subtly glances to his pack that is absolutely stuffed with books.
We went to a library.
And I sat outside.
No, you didn't. You specifically helped me find books.
Oh, well, there was monsters in that library.
You also went into the library with us the first time.
I've been wanting to ask you about that actually. Another time.
Neros.
What do you want?
While these two with their arcane shenanigans are looking at the staff and kind of looking over what it can do, you notice a cubby. Like, you know when you go to a, like...
Like a
Okay.
kindergarten class cubby?
I was going to say that, but I was like, that makes it sound like we all visit kindergartens all the time.
I do. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
so
kidding.
you know kindergarten cubbies. There's like one of those, but it's like 5 feet up from the
Okay.
floor, and it's near the door on the right when you enter.
Are there shoes
Like the
in it?
door we came in that has the...
Near the doorway, that would be on your right when you enter, so like where the caster line stood.
What?
In the first room we
Oh,
entered,
to my right. My other right.
opposite of the room the creatures ran away into.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything in it?
As you
Can I
reach
look in there?
and you feel around. No.
This isn't... Nope.
You find a wand
Okay.
inside the cubby.
Are you going to make me roll something?
It would be an arcana check.
Okay.
Or you could eat it.
Or a nature check.
Or
Nature.
nature. Oh.
It
I'm
probably,
going to roll Arcana because I'm not trained in nature and I don't rely on a +1 to
if
help
only
me.
it were divine, I could use it.
You got 2 other people.
I know nothing because I rolled a 2
3 other people.
on the die.
Plus what?
11 total.
That's not too bad.
It's not great.
You didn't critically fail, so you know that you don't know.
You know that you don't know.
Okay. I'm like, guys, I found a stick.
What did you find?
A stick.
A stick. That looks more like a
I wave it
wand, I
around.
think.
That is not a librarian staff.
How long has it been since we started praying and refocusing?
I'm gonna look.
Easily 10 minutes.
Okay. I was been staying out of everything. It's like I'm trying to do something here.
Well, Uver is looking and identifying.
23.
I touch his arm, and the crackles go along his scars and heal him 18 hit points.
That's nice.
And then I
That's
sit.
really nice.
Then I sit back down and start praying again.
That brings me 3 below. Thank you, alas.
Oh, no problem.
And as you get that feeling of healing coursing through your being, I
Through
couldn't
his
find
scars.
another rhyme.
Through his runes.
24.
You identify as a wand of quench.
Ooh.
What?
I know what this is.
This, if I can I see it real quick?
I throw it to you. I chuck it at your head.
Pointy side.
And that's
or-
how Uver got an eye patch.
That's how I lost me eye.
And the wand Uver misses it. It hits the wall. It cracks.
Goes up your
Water
nose.
goes everywhere.
Explosion. He catches it. I'm not gonna roll for that.
Yeah, he catches it. Squisha.
Hacha.
Acrobatics check.
He got upset. I think this is. Yes. It's a wand of quench.
Okay, what does that do mechanically?
Well,
So-
you see.
It has two functions. First off, you can use it to automatically douse any flames in the area of the 20-foot burst that you target.
Oh, these creatures could have used this.
But it can also be used to counteract a magical fire effect. So, for an example, if there was a, +1 flaming longsword, you could use quench on the +1 flaming longsword and make a counteract check. And if you succeed, you would suppress the flaming feature for 10 minutes.
Can it also damage fire constructs?
It can. So, like a creature that has the fire, I forgot to mention that. A creature that has the fire trait would take 4d8 damage on a basic fortitude save. The spell's duration is sustained, so on your next turn, as long as you don't drop it in between, you could spend another action to keep it going and then move that source of water elsewhere to quench something else or to try to counteract a different effect.
I have a spell called
What's the...
Cup of Dust. It makes you thirsty and take damage.
Why do you have that?
Why don't you?
not?
What?
If we're
a
thirsty,
good
can we
spell.
drink from the wand of quench?
No, because it's not like a bubble of water. It's the air is super saturated with water vapor.
Oh.
Oh.
You could
So it's
drink that.
humid.
I could drink that.
It's like a sauna. You can use it as a sauna.
You're just... No, it's the wand of quench, and you're just over there drinking water.
Cup of dust was cast on me.
Okay. What's the spell list?
It's from Primal.
Okay, I can't use it, guys.
None of us can.
So nobody has the innate ability
Well,
to use it,
I do
but
have
you could roll
trick
trick magic
magic
item.
I also have trick magic item.
So do I.
So since you've identified it, you would know that it would be a DC 20 nature check.
I have +1 to nature. I will not take that.
I also have +1
I have
to
plus
nature.
10.
Maybe we should just
Do you
leave it
have
here.
trick magic item?
Yes.
Do you want it?
I mean, no, but anybody else want it?
I don't want it.
How much is it worth?
160 gold pieces.
I don't think we need to use it, but it is worth quite a lot of money.
Yeah, we could sell that.
Like 10?
More than that.
Oh, like
Multiply that by
30.
16.
160. Is that a lot?
Math genius.
I will take it, and if I can, I guess, try and use it. It would be a little complicated, but we can certainly sell it, and we can get some money out of it.
We could use it on our adventures.
I mean, I would be. I personally would prefer to sell it.
It isn't much use otherwise. It would be more of a hassle, I think, to use it than to keep it. Or
You
to
know what
sell
they
it.
say, use it or lose it.
But I mean, we could
All right.
sell it.
So,
That's why we're going to lose it.
Jordy, that place we were in, where there are now 2 dead icy ghouls. Is that a dead end room? There's nothing else down that way?
Yes.
But there is a door to the north of us
Mm-hmm.
in the first room, and a door to the east.
Yes.
Okay. Which way should we get going in further? I don't want to bring Pilgrim in here when we haven't explored everything yet.
Do you think it's weird that 2 ghouls existed, but very violent people walked through here already?
Presumably, unless they
shut-
were with him.
The door was behind them.
Maybe they went
Does
fast.
it?
Do we know that Saita has come through here?
Well,
there
Pilgrim
any
told
dust or
us
anything on the
that
floor?
people came through.
But he described the ghouls.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Uver, go ahead and make a survival check.
What was Uver's question?
If there's dust on the floor.
Oh.
29.
Yeah, Uver, you know that there was a Scrabble in this room recently, but it looks like someone has made their way through and entered through the door next to where Neros found the Wand of Quench. So leaving the room through the east.
There was somebody that came through here, and it doesn't look like Pilgrim, somebody the size of Pilgrim.
So they went which direction?
Actually, that doesn't make sense. Uver is gonna go out or go back out the door.
Why? Where are you going, Uver?
Is Pilgrim out there?
Pilgrim and Cornelius are sitting, and Cornelius is like holding the end of several like dried grass as Pilgrim is like braiding them.
That's just great.
So
Pilgrim,
wholesome.
may I ask you a question?
Oh, sure.
Did you come up here alone?
All by my lonesome?
There was nobody else here.
Not when I got here.
And when you walked in, did those things look like they'd been hurt at all?
I don't know. They looked like they were made of ice and hunger.
But you saw nobody else come up here.
No?
Is he lying? I want to look.
Make a perception check.
Can I hear Uver's questions?
I wouldn't
Oh,
be
yeah.
whispering, yeah.
Okay.
Did we not have multiple people already check this?
No.
You rolled insight on it earlier, right?
27.
Yeah.
He seems to be telling the truth.
Uver, they could have arrived before Pilgrim.
Uver hears that and just like, thank you, Pilgrim. I want.
All right. Is it safe inside yet?
We got rid of the ice people, but we haven't cleared the entire place. I don't know if you just wanted to walk in the entrance. You could do that.
I do want to see inside.
Oh, feel free to come inside this room, but we don't know if the rest are done.
All right.
And Uver comes up and then comes up close to Alward and is like, I wanted to make sure that he didn't come up and just forgot to tell us. Come up with somebody else.
I mean, that's fair.
I think it's fine. He would tell us if there was someone else.
Yes, he did. And
yes.
he seems to be telling the truth. So,
Well, I imagine so. I think by the Eternal Rose, we should go right.
indeed, that is where the person went.
Oh, all right.
Has Cornelius also entered?
Yeah, so Pilgrim and Cornelius both enter into that room that you've just cleared, and Pilgrim walks in and just starts like looking around, looking at the ceiling, looking at the walls, and kind of traces along some of like the just decorative carvings on the walls, and it's just like, it's just as beautiful as I dreamed.
Any language on the walls?
There doesn't seem to be any like inscriptions on the walls, just like Celtic knot style of just like decorations.
I walk up to Pilgrim and I pull out my scraps of cloth and say,
Sorry for putting you in a prison.
Oh, was that you?
I thought you were going to smash us, but here, you can have some of these.
Well, that was very clever of you. That's a neat trick.
Thank you. I wonder if it'll come in handy later.
I'm sure it will. If you meet any other trolls, that might be a good idea to do, because not every troll wants to be an artist.
I will keep that in mind. You can have those, by the way.
Oh.
I took them off of the ice thingies.
Oh. Do your people make art with this?
I figured you might be able to use it. I don't know how art works.
It is the thought that counts. Think of it a trophy of attrition. Uber even just looks a little like, I don't know where else to go with that.
Zafir just turns around and starts walking back the other direction.
Well, Pilgrim can use anything to make art. It's fine. It can always be beautiful in its own way. But
You've got to find my muse for this. And he starts kind of just looking deeply in thought.
Cornelius.
Yes.
I know you didn't see it, but there were ghouls in here.
No, that's awful.
It's just like when I got my glaive, I was able to fight them, and I felt really close to the gods. I felt my magic flowing through me again.
That's fabulous. It's great to see you coming into your own and really leading a group.
I wasn't really leading the group. I'm just helping the group.
Not to correct you, they weren't ghouls. They were frost shambles. They're different. They are still undead, but different.
Oh, right, gotcha. Shamblers. Still really evil, horrid things. I've never thought of fighting things like this before. It's really, interesting.
Zafir shouts from the opposite side.
I see things.
Val now has bloodlust.
Or undead. The bloodlust?
And she kind of gets low to Cornelius. She's like, I'm so glad you decided we should meet with a group, because it's so much better doing all this with people. That's just not just you and me all the time, you know?
Of course, yes. The community is important.
I agree. It's great. You got a really good idea, Cornelius. Like all your ideas.
Right, yes.
We probably, since we already think somebody's already here, and it could have been Saito, I think, was possibly already in here, or somebody was, and they went through that door. We need to catch up with them. So,
Right. Yes. I can get that door open and lead the way if I need to. So Val creeps up to the door. Excuse me, Zafir. I'll get this door.
But I already had my hand on it.
Well, but what if there's danger? Don't you want them to hurt me before you?
The door is pretty big. You both can open it.
Nobody said I was going to open it. I just had my hand on it.
Oh, right. Give me just 1 second. She moves where her hands are on the glaive, and then it begins glowing blue just a little bit again, like it did when she first entered. And she's like, "Here, I don't want to touch your hand. Can I?" Sorry, not to be offensive, but
Rude.
I just...
Zephyr stands back.
Are you using that for a light source, or?
No, when Cornelius and I found this rune a long time ago, put it on my weapon, if I move some of these runes around enough, it will have like a magical field that won't hurt people. It won't kill people.
Could I see those runes?
I'm about to open this door.
Uvaris suddenly completely lost interest in the door.
When we have some time, I'll let you look at it.
He's already just trying to.
But I can just basically move a few things, and it can be the blade can hit people, or it can block the blade from cutting people.
What's
As Val's like trying to explain this and show Uver, you're like trying to look over her shoulder and trying to see, and you very quickly realize it's just like regular enchanting runes.
Yeah, it's just like a rune we applied to my weapon.
Yeah. He finally catches a good glimpse of it, and he says, You can see a little bit of disappointment, but
Wonderful runes. Good. Rune what?
Open the door.
oh, okay.
And as Uver is kind of like confused and lost and looking at the runes, Val pushes the door open, and you're able to push one of the two doors open at once. Like it takes you full on
2 doors.
Yeah, it's a double door.
Sorry.
So it takes you like full on both hands leaning against the door to push it.
Well, Zephyr,
It's
you can
got
help
to
if you
weigh
want.
several hundred pounds.
Before you enter, let my servant go ahead, and I'm going to move my servant ahead
Oh.
a little bit more.
What? Wait,
Looking down the
what do you
hallway,
mean? What's moving? Something touched me.
about 15 feet down the hallway, there's another set of iron doors that go off to the right, but there seems to be like chunks of blocks of stone that have fallen out of the ceiling and are blocking off the path. You can tell from the way that the hinges are set that the door should swing outward, so it would take a lot of effort to move the stones out of the way to get through that door.
When you say outward, do you mean into the hallway?
Yes, the doors would swing into the hall.
That's terrible. Who designs doors like that?
Jordy, the GM.
Trolls.
allegedly.
So the door on the right appears to be blocked by stones, and right at the end of the hall, just past the door, is what appears to at first be a straight wall, but on closer inspection is sort of tilted at like a 10-degree angle with what appear to be handholds, like it's a stone ladder built into the wall.
Okay, now I'm understanding what I'm actually looking at, because I was very confused
I'm
by
not,
what this
same.
was.
But I'll take your word for it.
Just so I don't have to keep telling you where my unseen servant is, while we're traveling, I always have it 10 feet in front of the person leading.
Okay.
Not
Right.
me.
Well, onward we go, I suppose. Zephyr,
Yes.
I should ask, when we're in places like this, are you the one who's normally in the front? Am I taking that from you, wanting to be forward?
No. Usually I'm in the back, or hiding, or you don't know where I am.
Oh,
Nobody knows where I am. I'm a shadow.
okay.
I reach out and touch Zephyr.
We used to have another party member that would be in the front where you are.
Oh, right. I've heard of that person. A little bit. Sigrin, why don't you wait outside and keep an eye out for other people coming?
And your raven flies out of the building.
That should work out.
All
Do you
right.
think that you could have Rustafard out to do some scouting, Zephyr?
Out where? Like outside or out in here? Or
Out in here.
I would guess so. Rustaford?
His little bird head is just like poking out of the shadows in your cloak.
I stroke his little beak.
Is that what you wanted?
Small comfort, friend.
The need to stroke your beak comes and goes. Uver had a great suggestion here. If you would fly ahead and kind of do some scouting and I guess let us know if there's any trouble ahead.
But of course, how far do you want me to go?
Uver, you were the mastermind behind this plan.
How far can you go before you lose contact?
How far can you go before you lose contact?
I am aware that you are familiar, and you can only be so far away from your master, yes?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't tried it.
Oh, really?
It's free to
Familiars
do.
can just go wherever.
Yeah.
They can't communicate wherever, but
Unless
they
you
can.
have a feat.
Just go about 50 or so feet ahead, and if you see anything, turn around and let us know.
Rustaford nods and then flies up over the stone outcropping and down into the darkness that you can all see with your dark vision.
Well,
And hopefully he has too.
he didn't say anything about this walk up, so I guess we're good.
But he didn't walk.
Onward and forward.
Flies back and
Oh.
lands on your shoulder. The path continues on ahead, dips back down to the level you're currently standing at, takes a sharp left turn, goes up a stairway, and then gives out entirely.
Gives.
Question. Does Uver notice where any footsteps went?
Yeah, continuing on with the survival check you made before, it looks like the person you're following went up and over in the same direction that Rustaford just went.
That would be the same direction that the person came and went. So,
Well, it
presumably that's the way we need to go.
looks like the only way to go.
Well, we have... Oh, yeah, that's right.
I forgot that doorway is closed off by rucks and
Yeah.
rugs
Oh,
and
yes.
rubble.
Rocks
There's
and roll.
also another door matching this one on the other side of this go up, go down.
But also broken.
No, it appears to be in good working order.
Ah.
Did you notice any footsteps in the dirt?
Val's gonna
No.
start going now.
So, Val, after you climb up over this rock ledge, which is designed to be climbed, but obviously to be climbed by a larger creature, what it's designed for is more of a, just help yourself pull up over, but because you are much smaller creatures, it's more of a climb. Luckily, it's seen some wear and damage, and there are smaller cracks and handholds you're able to get into to be able to climb up over. And when you get to the top, there is an iron grating that goes ahead of you, and underneath is a drop about 5 feet back down, and there is a channel of... Make a nature check.
Okay. I rolled a 10, so it's an 11.
Yeah, there's some kind of stone filling a channel beneath you.
I could roll survival. Okay, I just won't fall into the channel beneath me.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble keeping from falling into the channel because the whole walkway you're on is like a catwalk of iron grating.
Shouldn't. So Val will turn to the others and she'll say, "It seems fine. We can keep going. I believe."
Uver will start climbing up afterwards.
We all shall.
We all shall start climbing.
Zephyr stays to the back.
He stays to the back.
Sophia rolls behind Howard. Between Howard's legs.
Makes a yeah.
Hi.
Just as your group is beginning to pass over the channel, filled with some kind of stone, you know when you're sitting at home and it's a nice, cozy winter's day, and the air has been still and it's been quiet, starts getting a little cold, and then you hear some furnace or machinery kick on.
Yeah.
The other room.
Uh-huh.
That starts happening. And there's just like this deep humming and then like a
Move quicker.
boom, 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 boom. And as you're moving quicker, you hear a loud crack beneath you. And I'm going to need everybody to make a reflex save.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you gotta be kidding.
Rustaford and the Unseen Servant weren't very helpful for
Ah,
The unseen servant's not.
this.
Jordy.
Touching the ground.
Yeah.
Why is he not touching the ground?
Because he's flying.
But
He
he could-
always flies.
But he could be triggering stuff for us. That's what I thought was happening.
I don't think we triggered it.
I think us walking over it triggered it.
I thought you already walked over it.
I don't know.
I feel okay about that roll.
Reflex?
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Is this damage related?
It is.
Oh, I get
Oh
a
my
bonus.
gosh.
16.
14.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 20 for
Oh.
a 30.
16. Sorry.
28.
Hey.
29.
All right. So, Zephyr and Alward got regular fails. Neros and Uver got regular successes. And Val, with the natural 20, got a critical success. She's able to just like slide, tumble, roll, however she wants to get out of the way, just in time before a shower of like shards of stone come erupting up out of the iron grating, accompanied by like little splats of lava that are just erupting out of the channel. The shards of stone deal 8 piercing damage, halved for the two of you who succeeded. So it'd be 4. And then 18 fire damage from the lava splattering up on you. So then 9 for the two of you who succeeded.
Did this feel like it was triggered by us walking over it? Or
It
20
doesn't.
Or
You
is
don't
it
get a sense that
unrelated?
it feels like something is happening elsewhere and it's affecting you here.
Okay, cool.
26 total.
Ow.
Yeah.
8 plus 16. Right?
20.
It,
Yeah.
it was 18.
Oh, yeah, 26.
Yeah. And that sound is all continuing now and just somewhere further away. And it's very deep. You can almost like feel it through the ground.
That was rude.
Is it a lava train?
I'm gonna
Did
get
you
off
make
this
a
grating.
lava train?
Choo choo.
All aboard the
All
lava
aboard the
train.
lava train.
Does anyone need healing? Is everyone all right?
I'm about halfway down.
Alward's almost dead.
Howard's almost dead, though.
I have 15 hit points left.
50?
15.
What's your total?
41.
What are you at,
Oh
Zephyr?
my god.
27 out of 53.
I'm gonna lay on hands, Zephyr.
That
and
makes
heal him
sense.
18 hit points.
Somehow.
And
I guess.
then,
It's fine.
as I do that,
I'm in pain. I'm okay. I'll be fine.
And then I turn around and look at Alward and pull and get my glaive
And finish him off.
and I press it against your forehead like the flat of a blade.
Please don't kill me.
Phrasma,
I have a family.
goddess of fate, please understand it is not his time yet and grant him life. And she will heal you 5d8.
Dang.
Damage?
5 heal.
He cast the harm
Heal.
spell.
19 healing. So about the same.
Couldn't. Is there any other way you can do that aside from touching me with a weapon?
That magic it comes from the glaive itself, but I have it set to where it's not sharp right now.
It's still very terrifying.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to kill me.
No, why would I do that?
I
I've
don't
been
know. You
with for
worship
like
a god
week.
of the dead. I don't know. Put something out of its misery. I don't.
Phrasma is a goddess who tends to the souls. She oversees death, but also oversees new life and fate.
Yeah, you
It's
could.
not. I'm not gonna kill you.
You could kill me and bring forth new. I don't know.
I would-
You guys
I
just
would-
hear in the background
I hope you all. That's all the healing I've got right now. So if you have healing potions, that could work really well.
We are over the thing now, right?
So I would imagine that you haven't moved off the grate unless you like quickly scampered off.
I would have rolled.
After
off the
that
grate.
happened, I booked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
I
least
was going to narrate when there was more of a break in the action that after that initial spurt, there doesn't seem to be much more violent activity beneath you, but in the center of that stone in the channel, there's like a thread of active lava that seems to be flowing into the room that had the blocked door.
I thought you were gonna say you need to make a reflex save again.
It would seem, it would seem that those people, Saito and them, are inside the forge. Perhaps they've turned it on if this lava's flowing the way it is. And we might not have a lot of time.
Uver looks very disappointed at his glass bottle.
Oh.
It's really old, Uver, I'm sorry.
I should probably do that.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to be in here anymore.
I want to get off of this grate, so let's go.
So after you continue forward and you get down off of the elevated grate and back onto the first floor, as it were, you're immediately in front of another door that matches the previous door, but this one does not seem to be blocked by stone. And you can see just going around a corner to your left is a staircase going up. The stairs are about, 10 inches deep? You know, it's a 10-inch rise on the stair, but then it's like 16 inches in before it goes up again.
It's a stair for trolls.
Right.
Yeah.
Big feet.
Do we want to look through those
Size
doors?
12s.
Or do we want to head up these stairs?
Rustaford, why don't you fly on up the top of the stairs and let us know what's up there? We'll take a peek inside the door.
I already told you, it just drops off.
Like, it ends?
Well, it does continue, but not for people like you.
It's a cliff.
Without wings.
Are you saying it's a cliff?
Yes.
What is with trolls and making things dangerous?
It might have broken, you know. It's really old.
We're in a mountain.
Yeah, that door over there is covered in rocks. Things break.
Right, but it wouldn't break into a cliff unless there was like a sinkhole in the mountain.
Was it the bridge?
I don't know.
Well, we can check up there. I could go look real quick.
So, Val, as you step around the corner and you head up these stairs, they're tall enough that you could just like take a step and lift up, but it would be like, you know, doing lunges to climb up the stair with one leg. And as you crest the top of the staircase, it was, as Rustaford was describing, the pathway just kind of gives straight out. There's just like this shattered floor that goes straight down into a lava pit. And
Exciting.
there is on the right of this chasm, there's like a chunk of ice that's about 8 feet across that has a jagged edge to it and is dripping furiously.
Interesting. Oh, maybe the ice things were trapped in ice and now it's melting because of the lava. So those creatures weren't a threat when those guys came in here. Everyone.
How close to the edge do you get, Val?
Just right up the stairs, I think. So she turns down to the others. She says, I think I might have found 2 things out. One, I might have found why Saito and them never ran into the ice creatures. And 2, I think we can all jump the broken gap. It looked like maybe 10 to 15 feet at the longest. Most of us should be able to jump that without even making an athletic skill roll.
The dwarf and the short fetchling might have different opinions.
I don't want to risk that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there are a couple of us that are rather short.
It's like the old books I used to read. Like adventure books, you know? With all the lava and the secret things and the hidden temples. It's exciting. We can go past this broken pathway, find some ingenious way to get around. Or just a rope, maybe.
No, we could just toss you across it like a bag of potatoes.
I am very strong.
Why don't you go up there and we'll go down here?
How about we just check out this door first before we try to jump over a lava pit?
Wait, there's a door?
Right there. And I point to the door that's right beside us.
Oh!
It's funny, Neros.
Look at that, there's a door.
Val will start hopping down.
Like a buddy.
Whee! That was fun. You should really try it sometime. Howard, do you want to open the door? Or do you want me to open the door?
You should probably open the door. I don't think I'd be strong enough.
I'll
These doors are
open
huge.
the door.
Is it a double door or a single door?
It's another double door.
I'll help you, Zephyr.
I want to try to open the door by myself.
You want to open both of them?
I want to try to open both of them by myself.
Athletics check.
Eric.
So while me and Val
I
are
would
getting
not help.
situated,
My goal is to just get right behind him because I'm so much taller than him and just push.
I'll roll to help you. I have to roll a nat 20.
It's an 18.
So you really give it your all, and you start pushing, and there's like a little bit of give, but the doors don't really start swinging. It's just kind of like...
I think these ones are blocked too.
Here, let me give you some help.
So with Zephyr pushing at his height, and then Val being very tall pushing over top of him, the two of you do like an Aragorn, and the camera cuts to the other side, and the door opens, and there's both of you Aragorning into the room.
as soon as the doors are open, have my unseen servant fly ahead.
Ah,
Fly, unseen
the
servant.
thing gives me
Fly.
chills every time it gets past me.
I can
Rustaford's
make it go above
go in
you
there
if
as
you
well.
want.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Now that the doors are open, you see directly ahead of you, so on the left side of this room, the room itself is like a semicircle shape, and you're entering from the flat side, so it's all rounded ahead of you. And ahead of you on the left end of this semicircle is a frozen waterfall pouring out of the wall about 15 feet up into a pool, which is all frozen over. In the center of the room, coming down out of the side that faced where you walked over the metal grate, is a channel of what is now more steadily flowing lava. And on the far side of the room is an anvil just a little bit over twice the size of a normal anvil, with a massive smith's hammer leaning against it.
Oh, that's cool.
I so want to go pick up that hammer. Try to pick up that hammer.
You said this ice waterfall goes up 18 feet?
It's like 15 feet up is where the waterfall comes out and is just frozen mid-waterfall. But there appears to be about 8 to 10 feet of headspace over the water before the ceiling of the channel it's coming through.
We could throw our grappling hook up there. Try and climb up.
We could try.
Why?
I don't think I would be the best one to do so.
Well, there's a chance that
It's-
it could lead us to something secret, or it could let us get the drop on Saito, and those all if this leads to the same place.
It could just lead outside.
That's also true, Howard.
It is better, I think, than trying to go jump over a lava pit.
Oh, I fully agree with you on that,
It'd
Pine.
be easy to jump over the lava pit.
It's not the fact that it's easy or not, it's the fact that there's the lava pit
I'm not
itself.
entirely certain it would be easy either.
If you
Some of us.
fail, there's a lot of consequence for failure.
Also, who's to say that the staircase won't crumble more with us jumping on it?
That wouldn't happen.
This isn't a storybook, you know.
I know.
What's the temperature like in this room?
As you're entering the room, it's about the warmest you've been since last summer.
IRL or in the game?
Both. If you had to wager a guess, it's pushing 90.
I'm
Oh
gonna,
my.
I'm gonna go
Fahrenheit.
stand
know what that
against
is
the
in
ice
Celsius.
wall.
Dead.
I want to know how the ice wall is ice.
It's melting.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Magic.
I also want to go check out that anvil.
All right, so Alward is heading to the opposite side of the room, presumably walking around the lava channel.
No,
I
I'm
am-
jumping over the lava
I
channel.
am following Alward. Zephyr is following Alward.
All right. So with the two of them heading to the other side of the room, what are the remaining three of you doing?
Grappling hook.
I hand her the grappling hook.
Now come on, Uver. It will be fun. Let's try this out, yeah?
Against a melting wall of ice.
Should I not do this? Is this a bad idea, Neros?
That was out of character.
Oh.
Did you hear an English accent?
It should have been in
No.
character.
I can do it again in character. Against a melting wall of ice.
It is. Is it melting very, very quickly, or
Surprisingly slowly, given how warm it is in here.
we might have a little bit of time to at least take a look, or Rustaford could also look.
And I kind of say that a little louder over to Zephyr.
Can I hear him from there?
Yeah, so the room itself, you're only like 50 feet away standing at that anvil. The room is fairly large. It's actually, the ceiling in here goes up. It's 40 feet up to the ceiling. And if you were to look directly over your head, you would see there's a few crisscrossing metal grates about 20 feet up.
Rustaford, go fly above that waterfall and tell Uver you don't have to come back to me to tell me what it is. Tell Uver what it is first.
Couldn't you just have him attach the grappling hook?
Oh. That's a yes.
And as you turn to suggest this new idea to Rustaford, you realize he has already flown off and up over the waterfall.
I'm going to have my unseen servant go do it.
He'll come back.
So while Rustaford is up there, Alward and Zephyr, you go up to that anvil. And the anvil itself is massive, but like you wouldn't even need to make a crafting check to know this is a very well-made anvil. It's not just a small town smithy's anvil of, I need something heavy to beat against. It's somebody put effort into making this anvil.
Does the mallet or hammer that you said, does that look magical at all? Like, if I were to touch it, it would, zap me or something?
It looks more well-made and more enchanted than the anvil.
I don't know if I want to touch it now.
You should lick it.
It's odd that people call this a Trollforge. I mean, 'cause giants are known to do more of this stuff than trolls are, and they can easily get smaller than this room's.
Are you insinuating that this is a giant anvil?
I mean, it would make more sense to me if giants were here and not trolls before, but...
But what about the name? It's called Trollforge.
I think that's just because trolls found it and keep finding it.
Alward,
Yes.
you've studied and spent a little bit more time looking into these things than Zephyr, so it comes as little surprise that you notice first that hammer that's leaning up against this anvil, you recognize the runes on the hammer.
I don't like where this is going.
And that's where we'll end this episode.
What?
No! I was gonna
I
lick
lied.
it.
I love where this is going. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Sorry, Abby. You look in shock.
She doesn't like recognizable hammers.
All right, so for today's hero point, we're actually going to have one pending because we didn't have a whole lot of cool stuff that happened this episode. We kind of forged on, did some exploration, had a few moments.
Maybe don't say that we didn't do fun and interesting things.
Really, what we're saying
At the
is,
end of the episode, it's fine.
what we're saying is
Jordy.
Jordy's messing with the economy. It doesn't
Yeah.
want to help us.
I am. So what's going on is the shipment of hero points has been delayed. There's been a blizzard, and one of the trains is stopped in a snowdrift.
But it's 90 degrees.
Worry not. The train
melting.
will be unburied and will arrive in time for next episode.
I have a snowmobile, and I'll go get that early.
All right. As Sam heads out to pick up that hero point from the train, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Ooh.
Yay.
This has been an Atomic Broadcasting production. Pathfinder, Galarian, and the Lost Omens world setting are copyright of Paizo. More information at paizo.com. Music in the show is from Monument Studios' collection, as well as assorted artists, with some original tracks composed by Jordy Hake. More details in the description. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to share with a friend, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.
I want to go for a look.
But you have
Too
to wait till
bad
next
you
time.
don't
Have to
know.
wait
I
until
don't.
next week.
Not yet, anyway.